Hey everyone, so I just wanted to make a quick video today giving you some tips for using your thumb within guitar chords. So you'll most commonly see the thumb used in a kind of adaptation of a kind of bar chord shape where we leave maybe the top two strings open, or sometimes I'll use chords up near the top of the neck where you physically couldn't do the chord without using your thumb. It's a 5-finger shape, so shapes like this one here, this kind of B minor over a high D kind of shape as well. So there's two main tips that I would give you for using your thumb within a guitar chord shape. The first tip is to do with where you're holding the neck of the guitar within your hand. So when I'm using my thumb, what I tend to do is I'm holding the neck of the guitar kind of in the crook between my thumb and my first finger here, okay? So it's kind of positioned just like this. I'm basically not letting any of the rest of my palm touch the guitar's neck. Now, as you can see, by holding it here, my thumb is kind of already protruding over the top of the neck. So it doesn't take much adjustment to be able to raise our wrist up a bit and use it to fret a note like that. Now that brings me on to the second tip, when they kind of work in tandem together, but you are going to need to change the angle of your wrist when you are using your thumb, okay? So you can't have your wrist down here. It's just going to make it really, really difficult to fret notes, okay? So you'll see that when I'm playing out, say, a chord shape like this with no thumb, my wrist is kind of down below the neck of the guitar almost. But when I use it to do that B minor shape that I was showing in the beginning of the video, this one here, you'll see when I swap shapes, my wrist comes up like this. So if I was playing, and I go to the B minor, back down. So wrist is down, up, down like that, okay? So you are going to need to change the angle of your wrist. It just means that it puts your hands in a more natural position for almost as if, you're kind of grabbing the neck of the guitar a bit better, but it just allows your thumb to kind of get over the top and be used within a chord shape. So by combining putting the neck of the guitar within the kind of crook of your first finger and thumb, and using your wrist to raise up a bit to allow a more natural position for your thumb to kind of get over the top of the neck, it's going to make playing these kinds of shapes way, way easier. So with the most common shape that you would use your thumb for, which is this kind of bar chord inspired shape, but I'm leaving the B and the E string open, some people would argue that you don't need to use your thumb, which is true. You could take this A chord, you could use your first finger instead. If you take a C sharp minor up here, you could just swap your fingers around. But there are plenty of chords that it's necessary to use 5 fingers for. Or if we were to just take that shape, for example, and we were to put our first finger, say we take this A shape, we put our first finger on the 5th fret on the E note of the B string, on the 5th fret of the B. We're now using a 5-finger shape, okay? Now it would be nearly impossible, unless you've got a crazy sort of dexterity in your first finger, to bar all of the notes here, including the B string, but not mute this high E, okay? So I physically couldn't do that. I would just, easily favor my thumb over doing that, okay? So it's a good skill to have, and you can add it into these kind of higher up chord voicing shapes. We've got G major shapes down the bottom of the neck that I would use my thumb for as well. But it's just a good skill to have, because sometimes it's more convenient to use your thumb than swapping with your first finger, even if it is possible. So thank you for watching this video. If you'd like similar lessons like this, you can check out my Patreon, which is linked in the description below. But if you enjoyed the video, give it a like, subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you in the next one.